Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine. Action.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hello, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson.
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned for the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet hope, Chicago. 2 is 4, 4 4 6. Come on, baby, now get your business fixed. Come on, honey, don't you?
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with Sonny Hirsch, our cameraman, and the greatest host around, Sonny Myers.
That's a keeper. I'm keeping that. Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at ntnm.org. And by the way, speaking of Marty, Marty is no longer at the old place. So Marty is now at, I believe it's Frank's Wildwood Barbershop, which is on Chewy, right across the street from the Costco. So, stop by and say hi to Marty. He's a good guy. You guys all know I'm into this judicial thing, and there's very few things in life that are going to affect you more than if you have to be in front of a judge. I mean, that could be your marriage, it could be your house, it could be your freedom, it could be your life. And we really try to emphasize judicial candidates, and the judicial community's really been responding this time. We do 3 shows at a time. Of the 9 interviews we're doing today, 6 are sitting judges, 1 is somebody running for judge, and a judicial blogger, and then we have 1 regular guy. Also, we want to remind you that Jewish Chicago's election issue will be coming out just before the primary. We're planning on printing at least 20,000 issues this time, maybe more. That's not to mention the web exposure either. So, and we'll be, by the time this is on the air, we'll already have some public stuff out about it. It is a pleasure to introduce you to Justice Nathaniel Roosevelt Howse, Jr. How are you?
Fine, good. Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, my pleasure. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, my background is I became a judge in 1998 after practicing law for 22 years. In 98, I served on the Circuit Court of Cook County until 2009. And in 2009, I was invited by the Illinois Supreme Court to submit my credentials for consideration for elevation to the Appellate Court. I did that. The Bar Associations reviewed my credentials and found me highly qualified, highly recommended, many of them, and at least minimally qualified for the job. And I was assigned to the Appellate Court, where I've sat for 2 years.
And for those people who don't understand, the Appellate Court is really like a big deal, not a little deal. I mean, if you want to, we were talking to somebody running for a different appellate slot. If you want to consider Circuit Court Judge Major League, which it pretty much is, like Appellate Court is kind of like being an all-star.
Certainly, the appellate court is the safety net for the public. In other words, you go to the circuit, to the trial court, and you have a judge or jury make a decision. But if you disagree with that decision, you have a right to appeal that decision to the appellate court, and that's what we do. In the appellate court, 3 judges will hear the case. They don't actually hear witnesses, but rather they read transcripts of testimony that's taken at trial, and we determine whether or not a serious mistake was made which caused the wrong outcome in a particular case. So that's what we do. And so certainly if you have someone with that type of awesome responsibility and authority, you want someone who's qualified. I've certainly been found qualified, highly qualified by the Chicago Bar, highly qualified by the Illinois State Bar, highly recommended by the Decalogue Society, highly recommended by the Lesbian Gay Bar Association, highly recommended by the Cook County Bar Association, and I'm sorry, I don't have it for one other highly
By the way,
qualified.
that's you talk about more than half the bar associations, and by the way, from my standpoint, I'll take the Chicago Bar Association over just about everybody in terms of ratings. And just so you understand too, qualified means you're qualified, which is pretty good. Highly qualified means he's getting top grades, and almost nobody gets that many highly qualified. That's unusual.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. I work very hard at what I do. I try to do the right thing in the cases. So I'm in the job. I do a good job, and I want to stay in the job. So that's why I'm out running and seeking support.
Now, have you been an associate before? Is this the first time you're running? Have you run campaigns? Or?
I ran one campaign in 1998, and I ran countywide for circuit court, and I was successful in that endeavor, and so that's when I started becoming a judge in '98. So this is my second campaign. It's a higher profile race, so certainly we're working harder. Each day we're going out. We have 3 and 4 events every day. 7 days a week we're actually getting out.
Oh, and, plus you actually have to be a judge in the meantime.
Then we have to be a judge in the meantime. At night, at night, when I go home, I don't go home. I go to events. So, it's interesting endeavor. But that's the most fun part of politics. Is the shaking the hands and getting around with people. I enjoy meeting people and interacting. So that part is fun.
Well, there's no question you're very personable. I mean, that was obvious right away the minute I met you.
Well, thank you, sir. So are you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, and I want to, speaking of personable or whatever, I want to thank Michael Strom, of course, for bringing it to my attention. For the most part, somebody needs to bring the judges to my attention or over to me. And it's usually a good idea if they're qualified or recommended, and if they're highly qualified and highly recommended, then I'm even happier to have them on the show. So thank you very much, Michael. And okay, you're going to all these different events, all the rest of it, and this is county-wide, so yes. That's a busy schedule.
It's a busy schedule. Cook County is so broad. You go from the southern end to the northern end, and some days you have to do that. But I enjoy the work. It's something that we have to do to keep the job. So that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah.
Now, you've got a campaign organization set up?
Yes, I do. The committee to elect Nathaniel Howse and Jr., and we're up and going, and we are active, and they're motivating me, and I'm doing my part by getting out and campaigning and doing the best I can, doing the best I can on the job and on the campaign trail.
Now, how many petitions do you need?
My understanding is that there are approximately 3,600 or 3,700 valid signatures of registered voters needed in order to appear on the ballot.
Which means you need to get a whole bunch more than that.
Yeah, you need about, the rule of thumb is at least 2 or 3 times that number in order to avoid any challenge to your signature.
For people's information, we're filming on November 16th. I guess November 28th is the first day to file.
The first day to file is November 28th, and the last day to file is December 6th. So we're waiting on that.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about, because you know what, I learned a little bit earlier today, but it'll be on a different show. In terms of the appellate, go ahead, please.
I think November 5th. I'm sorry.
In terms of the appellate court, I mean, this is not like one judge sitting at a time listening to a case.
No, on the appellate court, there are actually 3 judges who are hearing the case, and you need a vote of at least 2 judges to make a decision. And when we look at the transcripts, what we're looking for, we're not looking for a perfect trial. We're trying to determine whether or not a mistake was made in the law or error in terms of admission of evidence that caused the outcome of the trial to come out wrong or could have affected the outcome of the trial. And if that occurred, we have the authority to either send the case back for a new trial, or we also have the authority to actually reverse the decision in some cases, yes.
So this is some very important stuff.
It's a very, very important position. It's, as I stated before, it is the safety net for the public, and it's an awesome responsibility. And I'm honored to have been entrusted with it 2 years ago by the Supreme Court when they assigned me there. And so I'm asking your public and the public at large to endorse my candidacy by voting for me March 20th so I can continue the work that I do.
And what's, you know what, I forgot what election day is.
The election day is March 20th.
March 20th, and 3 weeks prior, early voting will start.
Yes, early voting starts prior to that time, and it's going to be, so we have a little whiles to go, but we're out early, we're out fast.
Yeah, and by the way, Jewish Chicago will come out just a little bit for early voting, and of course we'll be online as well as in the newsstands, and we're doing at least 20,000 hard papers this time, and it's always more than whatever I say. Do you have a website?
Yes. You did.
Well, you've got your glasses on, I know. So, I'm sorry. In the meantime, do we have a card? Sonny, you got the card handy? No. Okay, sorry about that. Well, I guess you can Google Oh, we've got a card. We've got a card. Michael Strom. Bring it over, Michael. Mike to the rescue. Okay, you've got the glasses.
Okay, it's www.electjusticehouse.com.
www.electjusticehouse.com.
And you can reach me directly by Nate, N-A-T-E, at electjusticehouse.com.
How are we spelling house?
I'm sorry, House is spelled H-O-W-S-E. Elect Justice House, which is HOWSE.com.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. That was Michael Strom in the background, who was definitely a House supporter. Right. And I want to thank you very much, Justice Nathaniel Roosevelt Howse, Jr.
Thank you.
And I want to wish you good luck in the campaign, which is in progress. And, you know, since we're doing this in November, we still have a long time before the election, so we hope you'll contact us again and make another appearance before election time.
I'd be honored to, but I always tell people, remember, on March 20th, vote for Nathaniel Roosevelt Howse, Jr., longest name on the ballot.
Definitely the longest name, and it's the longest name I've ever had to pronounce on the show.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I'd be
Justice
honored
Howse.
to come back. Thank you so much.
Thank you.